Are you ready to eliminate emotional eating and start losing weight? Well, the secret is in changing your thought patterns. In this video, I am going to show you how your negative thoughts are holding you back from losing the weight that you want, from eliminating emotional eating, and from having the life that you desire. Stay to the end of this video, and I'm going to teach you the 3-step process that will help you change your negative thought patterns and accelerate your weight loss and eliminate your emotional eating. My name is Kristin Jones. I'm a life coach and I'm a lifelong emotional eater. And if you are ready to start the process of changing those negative thoughts and starting to lose weight, let's go. Because you've been having the same thoughts years, decades, multiple decades. You've had years and years and years of practice of thinking negative thoughts about yourself that are not working for you at this point. They're not working for you when it comes to you taking care of yourself and it comes to you moving towards your weight loss and emotional eating goals. And so we need to deal with this at the most basic level, and that is, how are you thinking about yourself? Because when you think thoughts about yourself and you think negatively about yourself, you're then in turn going to feel terrible, and then in turn you're going to want to feel better and you're going to eat. And that's what we need. We don't need to just change the eating. We need to go all the way back to the beginning. What are the thoughts you are thinking about yourself? Thoughts come from your brain. We have over 60,000 thoughts every single day. And those thoughts are created by your brain. Now, what I want you to think about, and this is going to be, sometimes this is a little abstract and it's a little hard to understand, but you almost want to think about your brain right now as it exists as like a third party. It's like a separate entity from you, because your brain has a job that it's been given, and you don't have any choice about that job that it's given, and its job is to keep you alive. And so what your brain will do in order to keep you alive is it believes that you need to always know the worst case scenario. You need to know what horrible things possibly might happen so you can somehow be prepared for them. That is what your brain does. So when you think negative thoughts, that's your brain working correctly. But I will tell you that there's a whole lot more than us just surviving. And so that's when we, as human beings, get to take control of our brains and decide, okay, the survival piece, that's awesome. We need that. But I also don't like what comes along with that, which is the negative thinking. So what we're going to talk about, how do we change those well-established negative thought patterns that until now have not been serving your life. They have not been serving your weight loss goals. They haven't been serving any goals in your life. And today is the day you're going to learn how to change those negative thought patterns and how to start to rewire your brain so it's more positive. And how does that relate to weight loss? Well, I will tell you that when we don't feel good about ourselves and we have a lot of negativity and negative thoughts swirling through our heads, we do not make good choices. And oftentimes, because we don't feel good, we want to comfort ourselves. And what do most of us do when we want to comfort ourselves? We eat or we drink something. And so that is how all of this ties together. If we don't understand how our brain works and how our brain works to impact our happiness or us not being happy, we can have some control over that. And if we can understand that, and we can create an environment that allows us to be able to control our thoughts and to be in charge of our thoughts, that is a huge step in the right direction in reaching your goals, whatever kind of goals you have, but specifically weight loss goals. Thoughts are optional. Any thought that your brain gives you, you get to decide, do I want to keep it? Do I want to believe it? And do I want to make that my truth? You get to decide every moment of every day. Sometimes your brain will give you things that you're like, yeah, okay, I can buy into that. And there's other times you're going to think, oh, no, that is so not true. The most damaging thing is when your brain says something about you that isn't true and you believe it. And you take it as your truth. And oftentimes, that is what most of us have done for most of our lives. We have been told by someone else. Our brain has heard that thought, or heard that sentiment, and then heard that thought and repeated it over and over and over. And a negative thought that we believe about ourselves becomes our truth. And that is what we definitely do not want to have continue. We want to make sure that we are deciding which thoughts are going to work for us, which thoughts are real, which thoughts are true, and which thoughts we want to keep, because they're going to move us forward. Letter T. So the T cycle is TEA. T is for thoughts, E is for emotions, and A is for actions. So I'm going to go through each one of those. Your thoughts are what you create. You can create thoughts yourself. Your brain can also create thoughts for you. You get to decide in any moment of any day how you want to feel about things that are happening outside of you. Relationships, interactions with people, things that are being done. Circumstances that happen outside of you do not cause how you feel. Nothing that anyone says or does causes you to feel any certain way. What causes you to feel something are the thoughts that you create as a result of what has happened or what someone has said outside of you. Now, that is a pretty powerful piece of information to know. That someone could say something really mean to you, and you could decide whether or not you want to get your feelings hurt. You can give that person power and let them ruin your day, or you can, whatever, blow it off. You get to decide. Me, that was huge when I learned that, because all of a sudden, I wasn't just that plant in the wind that just blew whichever way, whatever somebody said, whatever actions happened around me, I just kind of went along with them. You get to live your life deciding how you want to respond and think about things that happen around you. So that's the first thing. The emotions. Emotions are caused by our thoughts, which means that you get to decide how you want to feel in every single moment of every single day. You get to decide. Now, if you haven't been very happy, I hate to tell you, that's because of your thoughts that you have created, that you are thinking. Now, some people do not like me when I say that. They get very upset, like, are you saying that I've caused my unhappiness? And yeah, I am saying that. But I'm also telling you that in this moment, right now, as you're listening to this video or watching this video, you get to decide. You get to take control. If you're not happy, you get to change it. It's not about waiting for somebody else to do something or act a certain way. You get to decide if you're going to be happy right now. This is really the key piece, is we have a thought. Our thought creates our emotion. Our emotions, and this is human beings across the board, our emotions are what drive and determine the actions that we take. So how does all of this relate to food and emotional eating and your weight? Something happens, you have a thought about it, you think somebody has been horribly mean to you, you feel terrible. What's an action that you take that you know is going to make you feel better? Well, man, you're going to go grab a brownie. That's absolutely what you're going to do. And if you've done it enough times, that is going to be the default, automatic, that's just what I do. And that's a belief that you might have, that you might go along with, and your brain's like, yeah, that's what we do. You get to stop that right now. You get to decide if that's the pattern that you want to continue doing and continue moving on, because that is what causes you to eat when you're not hungry. It causes you to overeat when you're at a meal and you're upset and you want to soothe yourself, and so you continue to eat because that makes you feel better. That action takes the feeling away that you don't like. That's what we need to get to. When you understand that, you then can start to take the steps of realizing, oh, I get to be in control of this. I get to decide how I want to think or how I want to feel. and then the actions that I want to take. And if those actions aren't serving my life, I am not going to take those actions anymore. Determine the negative thought that is holding you back and sabotaging your progress, either on your weight loss goal, your emotional eating goal, or just your life in general. Formulate a rebuttal thought. And a rebuttal thought is when you talk back to your brain and you tell your brain, no, we're not thinking that way anymore. Or that's not how we think, and that's not true. I know it sounds kind of crazy to think about talking back to your own brain, but you have to remember, your brain is that third entity, and it isn't always your best friend. You need to create a new, empowering thought that is going to replace the thought that is no longer working for your life. So create a thought that is going to uplift you, that it's going to remind you of who you are, and it's going to be incredibly positive. And then that is going to be your go-to affirmation that you are going to say every day, all day, to remind yourself of all the things that you can do and will help you with your progress as you move towards your goals. Use these 3 steps on any negative thought that seems to be holding you back. And over time, you will find that your negative thought patterns will be replaced by more positive, uplifting thought patterns. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, Breakthrough Emotional Eating. I am here to help you deal with your emotional eating, manage it, and lose the weight that you want to lose.